What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and today we are once again doing a Mario Maker viewer wishes video where we talk about your wishes for what you want to see changed or added to Mario Maker 2. You guys have been giving me some pretty good ones and commenting some pretty crazy things, and I can't wait to get in today's list. We have once again 10 wishes from you guys that you guys commented down below, but once again, before we get started, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new to stay updated on all things Nintendo. And also, right now, only 8% of you guys are subscribed that watch my videos, and that means there's 92% of you guys that are not subscribed, so please feel free, if you enjoy the content, to subscribe to stay updated on all things Nintendo. One of Sonic Boom Miles' wishes is to have text boxes, and this is something that I've struggled with for a very long time. Yes, you can add comments to your own levels, and people can add comments, and you can look at what they said, but it's still not the same as maybe hitting a block and reading a piece of dialogue, or maybe just attaching dialogue to certain enemies, because personally I like to make themed levels, and I like the enemies to speak. For instance, I made a Bomb-Omb Battlefield level, and I wanted the Bomb-Omb to actually speak like they do in the game, like when they prepare the cannon and just talk to Mario. I think that'd be really cool, and also like for bosses, maybe you have like a boss dialogue, something pop up when the Koopaling comes up or something like that. That would also work really well. So give us some dialogue or some way to have communication to make more of a storyline within our own levels. Otter Boy wants to be able to turn enemies into ice cubes and then melt them with fire. Well, there's a big problem with this. We don't have any type of ice flower or even the penguin suit. In fact, there's no way to freeze enemies at all in this game. And yes, that wasn't like a completely unique thing, like something that we absolutely need, but man, to be able to turn things into ice cubes, I can see people already coming up with some crazy tactics and stuff, putting them on weights, putting them on teeter-totters, and flipping things and stacking them up. I can definitely see people using these things for some pretty unique properties. But yes, I just think many people want the ice flower. I've been seeing this comment over everything, bring back the ice flower, bring back the ice flower, and I don't know how that's not in the game. This would be an easy addition by just adding it to the fire flower, so that you shake the fire flower and voila, you have an ice flower. Yeah, even bring back the penguin suit. It'd make fun levels for just sliding in the snow and stuff, but yeah, the ice flower needs to return. It's a basic item, so it's kind of bizarre how it's not in the game. Poklon Inc. wishes that you could have certain specific boss battle arenas, and this would be really cool, because right now, whenever the boss is in a room, it's just based on every other room in your level, because you can't really make a separate boss level. For instance, there's lots of boss themes within the inside of an airship when you're fighting Bowser Jr. Sometimes they're completely flooded with water, and they just look different. There's windows in the background, you can tell you're in a boss room, it just looks completely different, and the atmosphere changes. There's sometimes special platforms that's nowhere else to be seen in the level itself, so maybe they should spice up boss battles by adding some unique rooms only for said boss battle. Saffron Moon wants the 100 Mario Challenge to come back. This is something that I also wanted, because right now it doesn't seem like there's too much to do. Yes, you can go online and play random levels, and you have that Ninja speedrun, but it's not the same as just playing that bunch of random courses. You can pick your difficulty and pretty much play. You can play endless for like as long as you want, as long as you keep clearing levels until you die, or try to clear their own little world they set up for you to clear, which is like a bunch of like 15 to 20 levels. This was also pretty cool because I always wanted to try to beat like all the levels in a world of expert, and that's something that I really wanted to do back in Mario Maker 2, but it's not there, and right now I just feel like it's missing something. It just doesn't feel like there's a certain game mode there, and this could definitely clear it up. This should be easy to implement, as it's just collecting people's levels and putting a difficulty on them, so I would really love to see this return. Duck Gaming wants to be able to make your own story mode with different quests and missions to reach the goal. Now this is pretty cool. In the game there's already a story mode, and they have lots of missions such as collecting toads or carrying a giant rock all the way to the goal or collecting coins. And this is something that would be really cool to actually implement in the game. What if you had just a whole world full of different missions? Well, currently you can technically do that, but what if they set it up in kind of a story mode sort of thing? What if you can make your own story mode, maybe your own little overworld like there already is in the game with 3D Mario running around in open space, and maybe doing specific things. You'll have specific tasks and specific goals that aren't necessarily available in regular level making, and it'll only be specific missions that are for this story mode purpose. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think people creating their own story modes and worlds on top of that, there's lots of different creativity within this game, but that would be a cool little add-on. Raphael Benjamin wants to be able to add liquids in any theme. That means adding water, poison, lava, and maybe even sand, let's say in the desert theme, in order to spice things up. Now, this should be a toggle to turn this on or off, but it should be available in almost every theme. Like I said, the only thing that probably wouldn't work is the sky, because how do you get liquids up there? I don't know, maybe it's just like liquid clouds. Look, I'm trying. But I think it'd be really cool to have liquids on all the different game styles. Maybe some secret like ghost house swampy liquid or something. It kind of stinks that the only level that has rising and lowering water is the jungle theme, and that should be over a lot of other things, like maybe even a beach style should have that. Mudkip971 wishes that they had an AllStar Toggle for Mario Bros. 1 and 3, and this is a brilliant idea. I never even thought about this. So they were All-Star versions of obviously Mario Bros. 1 and 3, which made the art style look a lot different. It had a 16-bit display, which was a lot different than the originals, and this time it just kind of gave it a little bit more detail. All the enemies had a little bit more color, and the life of the background kind of popped, and this would be something really cool to implement within the game. Maybe there's a toggle with Mario Bros. 1 and 3 that you can turn on in order to change the art style and kind of keep it in the same kind of gameplay, because they still play the same. Mario Brothers will play like Mario Brothers, and Mario Brothers 3 will play like Mario Brothers 3, but it'll just look a little bit different and have a different appearance to it, which might even have specific themes for those styles, which would be really cool and give people more options to play with these two different game styles. Daniel Gambara wants the option to customize the ending of a level. Sometimes you'll have a flagpole, sometimes you'll have an axe, depending on your style and your theme. Well, maybe they can make them universal, so the Super Mario Bros. 3 box can go with the new Super Mario Bros. U theme, and vice versa. So if you have a flagpole, maybe you can put it in Super Mario Bros. 3, or put an axe down in a simple overworld rather than a castle level. This could open up for some more possibilities. Maybe somebody wants a lava level that's not necessarily an axe boss stage, and they just want it to be a straight up lava level. And that would be a lot of help, but I don't think it's anything, like I said, too drastic that will completely change up the gameplay for them to add, so why not? Super Happy Gamer wants the mystery mushrooms to come back, and I think everybody does at this point. I already made a whole video over this on my own, but you guys are also putting this in the comments a lot, so obviously you guys want them back too. These mystery mushroom costumes gave the player the ability to turn into different characters throughout the Nintendo franchise, and you could put on this mask and this costume to pretty much be anybody you want. You can be Kirby, you can be Mega Man, you can be Sonic, you can be Olimar, I mean, the sky was the limit. You could even be Hello Kitty, so even a Mercedes-Benz. You could be literally almost everything, but this made this really cool because you could make design levels based off of these characters. You have a Samus suit, now the players will understand your Samus level. You have a Link suit, now the players will understand your Zelda themed level. Yes, we still have Link in the game, but you get my gist. Yahav Fruitster wants to be able to get this die enemies and power-ups in order to have different effects, such as different elemental effects. And let me tell you what right now, I love comments like this. I love the creativity, and I love you guys doing some completely bizarre things, which I'll mention here at the end of the video, but for now, let's talk about this. What does this even mean? Well, I thought about Super Princess Peach for an example. If you remember in that game, the game was all about emotions. It was about Peach's emotions and also all the emotions of the enemies around the Mushroom Kingdom. And some Goombas were angry and they were all red, and when Goombas were blue, they cried and shot out water out of their eyes, which obviously is tears, but water is what I'm really looking at here, because what if you can change the colors and maybe the mood and effect of different enemies? So maybe you can make enemies blue for them to shoot out water. For instance, maybe a Goomba could shoot water out effects, and maybe if you make it red, he'll have flames coming out of him and be super aggressive. But maybe you can change the behaviors and attitudes of enemies by changing their color. This is a wacky comment, and I actually love it. And that is all of your guys' comments. Now, for the next video, I want you guys to come up with some random ideas as well. I want you guys to come up with some of the goofiest, craziest things, because some of them can actually come into fruition. You know, Nintendo's kind of kooky up there, so they could come up with some of these crazy ideas of their own. So please give me your wildest ideas, but let it make sense in general. Let it have some type of theme behind it, and I might just pick your comment next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and like always, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new to stay up to date on all things Nintendo. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya, guys.